Hi everybody, Jimmy DeYoung. Welcome to Prophecy Today video. It's an opportunity for me to talk to you about current events in light of biblical prophecy. This last week, 6 superpower nations met with Iran to discuss Iran's nuclear program, which most of the world, most intelligence agencies are reporting indicates that Iran could have a nuclear weapon of mass destruction, many of these agencies saying within the next year. What does this meeting in Geneva that took place this last week mean as far as Israel? And will the Israelis hold off a strike on Iran to try to destroy their nuclear weapon of mass destruction? David Dolan from Jerusalem gives us some insight.
Netanyahu has said we will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapons capability. So he's always said that they would do a military option, but it would be a last option. And he has said many times, and President Perez has said, and former Prime Minister Olmert has said, they would prefer the Western powers, the U.S. in particular, to really put serious, severe sanctions on Iran, not the sort of Mickey Mouse ones, as I heard one commentator call them, that have been in place up till now. Serious, painful sanctions, and possibly this will lead to Iran abandoning its nuclear program. Not likely, but it could, and particularly since Ahmadinejad is having his own internal problem, has a lot of opposition inside the country. So, but Jimmy, playing it out doesn't mean forever. He's going to certainly give the Western powers a chance, and now we've had very strong statements from Hillary Clinton, from President Obama himself, and other leaders since the revelation of this second uranium plant. That raises hope that maybe the Western powers will take a really tough stand and save Israel the terrible option of doing a military strike. But let me tell you, that option will remain on the table, and they will continue to train for its possibility.
David Dolan in Jerusalem, longtime journalist. He, from his vantage point, is watching the Middle East for us. I want to remind you that Iran is the Persia in Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 5. Do you not remember until 1936 there were 3 nations that we call by different names today that were Persia at that time? The 3 nations today, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran. That should give you a heads up on what is going to take place. Ezekiel 38 is a scenario that's laid out for us to understand how a coalition of nations will come together, form an alliance, and come against the Jewish state of Israel. Well, the president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, has said Israel must be wiped off the face of the earth and her name be forgotten forever. Iran is only one of the nations in the coalition, but they're somewhat of a leader, and the people will fall in line behind them as they try to destroy the nation of Israel. These nations will align themselves, and I want to tell you, my friend, they are doing that even as we speak. The stage is set, all the actors in place, Ezekiel 38, Daniel 11, and Psalm 83 about to be fulfilled. This is evidence that we are quickly awaiting the time of the rapture when Jesus calls us out of this world. Before all this activity takes place here on the earth, he calls us into heaven with him. That's the rapture of the church for those who know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. I hope and pray you do know Christ. If not, admit that you're a sinner. Our life is evidence of it. Believe the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ took away that sin. He resurrected to prove he was the one qualified to take away our sin. And then call upon him in childlike faith. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Do that today. The rapture could happen at any moment. Let's keep looking up until. For more information about the Middle East and world news in particular, we cover it on our website, prophecytoday.com.